This is a lesson on changes in matter. It's kind of closely related to chemical and physical changes or properties. They're really closely related. The change actually occurs. Property means it could change or not. Again, physical change does not change the chemical identity. If it's H2O before, it's going to be H2O afterwards. So changes of state. So examples. Change of state. Turning from a solid, liquid, gas are excellent examples of a physical change. Dissolving. If you have salt in water, it's still salt water. You didn't change it. Salt still tastes salty and the water still is a liquid, so you don't really do anything like that. So dissolving or being soluble is one like that. Tearing. Ruffling, crumpling up a piece of paper and changing its size. Other things. Distilling. Distilling is a way of separating two liquid components that are mixed, a homogeneous solution. If they have different boiling points, as you heat up the solution, the lower boiling point turns into a gas first, they collect it, and that way they separate things. Distilling is used in refining gasoline, where they take different brands of gas, different qualities of gasoline. They do like propane first, and then hexanes, then octane, which is gasoline, and then you end up with tars and stuff, so you heat it up and collect it that way. Alcohol is distilled water. You can purify water by distilling, by leaving the minerals and things behind. Filtering is another example of a physical change. You filter drinking water through filters, coffee filters. You pour the liquid through it, the coffee grounds stay behind, and the other things that. There are others. Air filters. They collect the dander and the stuff in the air, dirt and dust in the air, and put it behind. So these are examples of physical changes where you don't really change the identity, you can just separate them. Physical changes you can also use to separate mixtures. One of the key things we do in chemistry, if we're doing a physical change, is separate mixtures. The other thing we have is chemical change, which, you do change the chemical identity. You are making something new. Examples is actual burning. Remember, a chemical property is it's able to burn. A chemical change is it's actually burning. Reacting with an acid or base. Picking some other element or chemical, whether it reacts with that. Does it react with water? Some things will burst into flames if you pour water on it. That's why we have different types of fire extinguishers. So a chemical change is where it's it's actually changing. Now, in this case, the inert gases will not change. They do not have a change because they do not react with it. The chemical property is they do not react, but you cannot have a chemical change in that concept. Common misconception, common screw-ups, misconceptions, I guess. People tend to confuse melting and dissolving. They are both turning from a solid to a liquid, but melting is you're changing into a liquid by adding heat. Dissolving is you add a liquid, usually water, but it doesn't have to be water. So dissolving is adding a liquid, melting is adding heat. Melting is the exact same compound composition before. Dissolving is you're going to be changing it into a mixture. Freezing and precipitating. People tend to confuse those for some reason. Freezing, you're removing energy to make it a solid. Precipitation, or precipitating, is where you mix two liquids together and you form a new chemical compound. So this is a physical change where you remove heat. Precipitating is a chemical change. You made a new substance that is not soluble, so it precipitates or comes out of solutions, making an opaque or cloudy solution. An interesting one the author has is burning and drying. I really don't see too many people confusing burning their clothes with drying their clothes, but we'll mention that because the author does, and it's fun to say. Burning is reacting, it's a chemical change, it's reacting with oxygen. Drying is a physical change, you are removing water. That ends this lesson on changes in